All right.
After he said that and y'all started waiting, where were you physically on the marble area, in case that matters? Feel free to move your token in Roll20 to wherever you would like it.
And we camped out on this giant marble slab.
Yeah, you camped out on the marble slab, and then you woke up at like 11:30, and all these other groups were in the courtyard, not on the marble slab.
Nice. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think, where would we have come out from our little climb with the bats? Was that in the bottom left there?
If you zoom way out, you came out of the well in the bottom left.
Over there. Okay.
I'm actually pretty happy where I am.
I was going to say, I don't think we would have like made it all the way to the other side. It sort of makes sense to be on the south end there, I think, somewhere.
And let's say that the people with the gold badges, the 8 of them, are probably up here, like way up here, standing kind of in a row, just watching.
Okay. And where is the dragon?
This is rewinding a little bit to find out where you were standing when said dragon would have appeared.
Fair enough.
Hey, John. So what are these things in the corner? Are they like fire braziers?
Yes.
Like there's actively fire in them?
Yes.
While we're long resting, then I would like to cook my portion of barg meat.
Perfect. Mark down and cooked barg meat.
Okay. No longer raw barg.
All right. Okay, so you get into position and you start waiting. 30 seconds go by, a minute goes by. All you can hear is like the loud wind in the background. And here, I may have been a little premature with the music. You just hear the wind in the background. And then you see this dark spot in the clouds kind of emerge in the distance, and it swoops behind the clouds, disappears, then comes up over the mountain, and you see that it is in fact a red dragon, and it is heading straight for your position. And we'll say, to get things started, we'll put it about here. And it is...
Oh, here, okay.
Yep, and it is approximately, it's coming down, and we'll start the initiative order when it is about 60 feet up in the air. So we need to roll initiative. Oh, and now we need the right music. So, okay, let me remove all turns, clear that. So just roll a d20 and then add your initiative modifier and tell me what it is, and I will add you into the order.
I'm at 14.
I'm 15.
22.
Ooh.
Okay, 14. 15, 22, 13, and Errol, you know what? What is it? Let's see. 11 plus something, 13. Pat, you need to add the geometry to also do the 60 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah.
I'm kidding, sort of. And I always forget that initiative gives away what their name. So there you go. You know what you're fighting. Oh, snap.
No,
Oh, snap. He goes last.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. I also don't see any names, so maybe that's just a you thing.
Oh, really? Does it show you the turn? It shows you the turn order, right?
It shows
what
me
does
the
it say?
turn order, but it just shows me everybody's little icon, and then the only name that's shown is mine.
Yeah,
Oh,
same.
very nice. Okay, then you don't know what you're fighting. Fantastic.
So John, visually, is this dragon fall more on the Smaug side of this like spectrum, or more on the like cute How to Train Your Dragon side of the spectrum?
I won't answer that, but I will say that you can look at the token size, and its token is the equivalent of a medium creature, i.e. roughly a humanoid size, versus, it could be like so, and it is not. So,
See, okay.
it definitely
So they're
does seem to
lowballing
be-
us with a baby dragon.
It seems to be on the smaller side, but it's still a fucking dragon.
All right.
Maybe we can save
All right. All right, Flick, you're up.
Okay, so I did do the geometry, and so it's 80 horizontal distance and 60 vertical, which translates to 100 feet. Although
Sorry, how many feet?
it actually is 100 from me. But it's actually kind of a moot point since I have sharpshooters, so it doesn't matter if it's long range or not. So yeah, I am going to. Oh well, I guess first, John, point of order and clarification on just how D&D treats dragons. Are they considered beasts, or are they like their own thing?
They are their own thing.
Yeah, because they have their own
Okay.
language and stuff, right?
Yep.
So we're just gonna murder a sentient thing.
We killed Barb.
I mean, hey, listen. I'm pretty sure what you were told was, to make it really clear, prove yourself and let your legend begin today. You step forward to see if you were worthy, and then a dragon flew in. So that's everything you've been given in terms of context for the immediate scenario you find yourself in.
Oh shit, well maybe
first thing
we're
I'm
gonna do like a
do
business
is,
presentation or something.
I'm gonna do as Flick. I'm gonna ask the question of like, hello, are you here for the
Oh.
test too?
Okay, wait. Perfect. We're gonna come right back to that. You forgot one thing. Your Dave here, your skeleton remains yours for 24 hours, right?
Uh-huh.
So Skelly's still there.
You still
Last
part
we
of the
heard, he was essentially acting as your miniature pack mule carrying around this 20-pound orb you found. Where is he? And is he still holding the orb?
Yes, he's still holding the orb. I think where you put him is perfect. And can he have like a bat like stuck in his rib cage, like flapping around, like trying to get out?
I think he absolutely has a bat in his rib cage trying to get out. Oh, perfect. And he's even right in the right spot in the turn order. Okay. Great. Now, Flick, you said, are you here for the...
Hello, are you here for the test too?
Great. Technically, you have to wait till the dragon's turn before you get to hear its response. So what would you like to do in the interim?
Oh.
Now, as a reminder, you could hold an attack with a condition such that if he attacks anyone, you use your attack to shoot at him.
Yeah. I guess the only
Yeah.
thing. So I have the the Dread Ambusher on my first turn of combat. So it still counts first turn, right?
Sure, we'll say it's held. It still counts first turn.
Okay, yeah. Then I'm gonna hold until after the dragon responds, or to see how there's like 3 or 4 going before them shake out.
Great.
So I'm gonna hold until after the dragon goes.
Got it. It is Dayfarer's turn.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna approach the dragon.
Okay. As a reminder, it is 60 feet in the air.
All right. Well, I mean, I can't do anything to it anyway. So, can I just like draw my sword and be like ready?
Okay. And so for the readied action, you just give a criteria. So under what criteria will you attack him? Like if he gets in range?
Yeah.
Got it. And is that everything for you?
Uh-huh.
Cool. Can you mute your phone in between your turns as your chips are a little loud?
Yeah, I got it.
All right, cool. All right, Kari, you're up.
Kari's eyes are going to go real big, and she's going to sort of take a couple of stumbling steps backward. And you said that these seem like these braziers here seem like they're pretty large. Like one might be able to hide behind them.
Yeah, that thing is probably like 8 feet in diameter. Flames probably going up 3 or 4 feet.
Okay.
So yeah, you could absolutely use it for cover.
She's going to sort of head back this way, pull out her longbow and fire off an arrow.
All right. And what's the range on that longbow?
150 feet. And I also have a hypotenuse calculator, hold up, inspired by Pat, and it's 108 feet right now, I think. I closed the window. It doesn't matter because it's a natural one.
Yes. So as you fire this, you realize what the fuck have you gotten yourself into? And the distraction and the anxiety, the arrow goes completely off, like misses it by like 40 feet.
Okay.
Any bonus action?
No, I'm just gonna like come swing all the way around this brazier here and be like keeping an eye on it, but like mostly trying to keep myself hidden.
Excellent. All right. It's Errol's turn. He is going to look over. He's going to watch the arrow go wide. He's going to have heard what Flick said and realize that he wants to wait and see what happens. So he is going to, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, plus, yeah, so he's going to, on his turn, use his action to dash and will similarly go hide over here behind this brazier. And that is his whole turn. Balthazar, you're up.
All right, I am also going to go back towards the bottom right and hide behind the brazier there.
Where Errol is?
Yes.
Fantastic. That does not use, that uses your movement. What would you like to do with your action?
With my action, I will just, can I also still ready my action?
Yeah, you can do the same of kind of giving a criteria.
Yeah, the criterion is if the guy comes in range, I would like to cast the spell eventually.
Perfect. Great.
Specifically, if the dragon comes in a range of, I don't know if that matters, but if the dragon comes into a range of 90 feet.
Within 90 feet of you?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yeah, no. Well, actually, I think you just need to tell me what spell it's going to be. more sleep.
I'm gonna try sleep.
Okay. Perfect. If it comes in range for sleep, you will cast sleep. It is going to use its entire action to get to be. No, actually, it's going to fly. Oh, I forget that y'all can see what I'm measuring. 1, 2, 3.
I think there's a way you can turn off
There is, yeah.
hide from others.
When you click on the little
Okay.
ruler.
It is going to fly. It's going to fly over here, and it's also coming down as it does so. So it is now it's now only 15 feet in the air. Skelly's turn. Skelly, what's Skelly doing?
Skelly is going to keep doing what he is doing.
He's just going to stand there?
Yeah.
Nice.
Holding
So,
the bat in place.
Mm-hmm.
Creaking bones, a little bit of a like really deep like whistling sound as the wind goes through certain sockets in his bones, with this bat flapping
Yeah.
erratically inside.
Yeah. And
Lick,
screeching.
it is your turn, and the dragon clearly made no response to you.
Can I?
Oh, actually, I'm sorry.
do a
Wait, pause. I can almost guarantee you that it's within range of sleep if it was 90 feet, sir.
Yeah, it is
Balthazar.
90 feet. Mhm.
All right.
Okay.
Castio sleep.
Okay.
How's
So
sleep
what's
work?
the D20?
I think it's you roll 5d8.
I roll.
And that's how many
5d8
hit points.
5d8 plus 2d8.
You're casting it at second level?
Oh, that's what it means. Okay. No.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, 5d8.
Okay,
So
yep.
do I just roll it 5
You can
times?
Yeah, you can hit that if you want to. You know, there's a few different ways.
You can also do
whatever's best.
/roll 5d8.
Okay, well, I did it the first time.
All right, 9, 10, 15, 19. So the way it works is anything within that area that you cast it, that whatever has the lowest hit points up to 19 falls asleep. So if this had less than 19 or less hit points, it would fall asleep. It does not do anything. So you have at least learned that it has more than 19 hit points. Mark off a first level spell slot. Rick, it's up to you.
I'll have that knowledge now.
So can I just quickly perceive, did it seem aggressive as it flew towards that corner? Did I perceive, or do I need to roll for that?
Yeah, sure, make a perception check.
But then it plus, where is that? Up on the first. +3, so 9.
It's still far enough away that it's kind of hard to tell, but it definitely was flying straight towards some of your companions.
Got it. I think that at this point, Flick has gotten enough sense that, hey, he didn't, or he's very offended that he didn't respond. So now shit is gonna get real. So just make sure I have the exact language right. So I get +10 feet of speed and an extra attack. So with my speed of 25, let's see, I'm going to move toward, I'm going to move back behind Dayfair. Oops. I guess I gotta do that.
Well, there we go. Some dragonfly.
And then I'm going to fire my 2 arrows. And also imagine, so this is the Dread Ambusher. So basically, like, imagine, like, you know, you couldn't really see what I was doing. I just kind of like glided amongst, like, you know, like, went kind of shadowy there for a bit and instantly appeared behind Dayfair. And I'm going to fire the first arrow with the sharpshooter extra damage. That's to hit is +2, and that's a critical failure.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Rolling like champs tonight, everybody.
What?
Rolling like champs
it, John?
tonight.
Yep. So your first shot, it's not fear that causes you to miss, but as you're getting closer, you see the like powerful muscular arms and legs, and it makes you start to wonder, I wonder what that tastes like. And
yeah. And then now for my second attack, so this one will be +7. Because I'm not doing sharpshooter on this one.
okay.
Come on.
Oh wow.
That doesn't seem right. I don't. Wow.
Okay. I'm
Not-
still
You don't
very, like,
accept this.
I had that first reaction of like, oh, it looks tasty. And then I'm like, no, but for real, y'all, that looks good.
Perfect.
And I still missed.
All right, is that your turn?
Yeah, that's my turn.
Jesus.
All right. Dayfair, we're up to you.
All right.
And
So
it is still 15 feet in the air.
okay. I mean, all right. I guess I can hit it with. I have a big crossbow. So I can try hitting it with
crossbow.
that. I don't think I have anything else I can do. Yeah, no, that's it. All right. Well, I will try hitting it with a head crossbow.
Bring it.
Here comes the one.
Come on. Come on. There we go.
13.
13. It's you this time, for the first time out of any of you, you don't miss, and it hits this thing right in the leg, chinks off the armor, flies off.
Nice. All right. Well, that's good to know.
Any bonus actions before we move on?
Nope.
All right. It is Kari's turn.
Okay. Kari.
Oh, and sorry, when the crossbow bolt chinks it and hits it in the leg, its head whips around and looks straight at you.
Nice.
As it turns its head, Kari is going to do her best to get somewhere behind Skelly, putting the skeleton between her and the dragon, and she's going to try to do so with a little bit of, a little bit of rogueness, if possible. Not that's her specialty. I'm on the measuring thing. That's why she's going to. And then I'm going to fire another longbow shot right at the dragon.
All right.
Nice. Natural 19 plus 23 to hit.
That will hit. Roll your damage.
Nice. I'm also going to use a bonus action to do Kensei's shot, so I can add a 1d4 damage to my ranged attack. That's 2 plus 2 plus 2. That's 6 damage.
All right. You're able to aim a little bit more carefully, and actually, as it turns to look at Dayfair, you hit it just kind of in the stomach area, and it actually is able to like pierce. It only goes in a couple inches, but you actually do manage to get purchase, and you do see this thing, you know, slightly react. Anything else?
I think I used most of my movement getting here, so I don't think I have room to get anywhere else. I'm going to continue to hide behind Skelly.
Great. Errol is going to kind of see in this moment, you make the shot, and he's going to peek out around the corner. I think he's going to do this because it can be 60 feet. Is he within 60 feet of you? Yes, he is. So he peeks out from around the corner and says, yes, keep doing that. Seems like you know what you're doing. And he's going to use his bardic inspiration to inspire you. So you have a D6 that you can use on any roll you make. And it's your choice when you want to use it. But on any D20 roll you make.
Is that everybody or just Balthazar?
No, sorry. That's just to you, Kari.
Oh, just me?
He was inspiring you because he saw you hit the dragon.
Gotcha.
And then he's also, that was his bonus action, and then he's going to turn hang on. Yep, he's going to turn to the dragon and say, well, you're one ugly bitch. This is mockery, his cantrip, to do some psychic damage. So it has to make a wisdom saving throw. And it got a 12, and the saving throw DC was 13, so it does not. Ooh, interesting. Okay. So it takes a whopping 1d4 psychic damage.
Nice.
And then it has disadvantage on its next attack roll.
Whoa.
And in response, the dragon is, I don't know, you see its head kind of shake very slightly, confused by this as it doesn't speak common, but knowing it was insulted somehow. Balthazar, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm going to. Do you know how to? So I would like to cast darkness.
Ooh.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
And I'm trying to look up what the rules are. Okay, so 60 feet,
here,
so I'm within range. I'm within range, 15 feet radius. John, do you know what I have to roll for this?
I actually don't think you have to roll anything. A creature with dark vision can't see through it. If you point on an object you're holding or one of the darkness, no, completely covering the source. Nope, just for 10 minutes it is dark. Now the thing, it will be in a 15-foot radius sphere, and it says to move. Unless you've been to test. It does say if you choose an object you're holding, the darkness infinitely outweighs it. So you can either pick a spot on the map, and it will be a 16-foot sphere of darkness, or you could pick like your clothes, and then there would be a 16-foot sphere of darkness emanating around you. And it means things trying to attack you, it would be harder for them to hit you, but it will also be harder for you to hit anything else because you will be blind.
No, but hang on. So I have dark vision, but that doesn't help, right?
Correct, because this specifically says creature with dark vision can't see through it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so.
But in essence, you could like create a choke point on the map.
Mm-hmm. So 15 feet. Okay, so if I place it here. Okay, so 15 feet. So I'm going to, how can I tell you where I would like to do it? How do you make
if you
things
just
light
hold
up?
left click.
Yeah, if you just hold
hold
the
left
click
click.
button down, there'll be a little circle.
I have a Mac. How do I use left click?
Oh, sorry. You need to click you're on the ruler. Click the arrow in the top left, and then.
Oh, the arrow. Okay, cool.
And then.
Cool. So I'm gonna select this here.
Okay. Perfect. And you want a. Yep. So like so.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Like so.
Yeah, that looks great.
Okay. Perfect. So there is a sphere of darkness covering this part of the map. Where do you want the radius to be? Do you want it to be like essentially, 7.5 feet up in the air, such that there is a full sphere of darkness here, or do you want it to be like a dome? Okay. All right.
The sphere is good.
Everybody, there's a sphere of darkness in that spot. Would you like to move?
No, I'm going to stand where I am.
Perfect. It is the red dragon's turn. It is going to continue flying straight through that sphere.
Ooh.
And descend to approximately, actually, it's going to be about right here, and it's going to descend to about 10 feet. And then it is going to, let's make some nice sounds for it, because I think we do have some sounds. It is going to suck in a deep breath and let out a blast of flame in a 15-foot cone that is going to completely engulf that brazier and both of you behind it. So each creature, you need to make a dexterity saving throw. So look on your character sheet at the top of the first page. It'll show your saving throws, then roll a d20 and add whatever your save number is. So Errol rolled a 6 plus 3. He fails. What about you, Balthazar?
Yeah, okay, so hang on. How do I do the dexterity saving throw?
So just roll a d20.
Yep.
We'll start with that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, a 10. All right, now look at your character sheet.
Yeah.
And at the very top, there's saving throws, and it has a number in the dex. What's the number in the dex?
Saving throws. Sorry. Dexterity 2.
Okay, so your total is 12?
Yep.
Okay, so you take, oh wait, how do you do it? Roll, and then I do space.
Oh god.
You each take 31 fire damage.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Whoa.
So the rest of you see both Errol and Balthazar completely engulfed in flames, and as the flames clear, their bodies are lying on the ground unconscious. Not dead, just unconscious.
Wow.
It is now.
So hang on, okay, not dead. So even though 31 fire damage is obviously way higher than my maximum hit points.
So you only immediately die if it does double your max hit point.
Okay, I see.
And
so
so-
once
and
you
also-
false life, I could still do the saving throws first, right?
If you wanted to do false life, oh yes, we've got to get into all of the complexity that is Balthazar. Here, I'm pulling up false life. Also, you have a spell that you could cast, if I remember from your flaming fight at the very beginning. You have absorb elements, which would cut the damage in half.
Yes, I do. But I thought absorb elements was something I would have had to do in preparation of that attack. That's how I read it.
I don't think so, actually. Well, I'm pretty sure absorb elements is no. Because it's a reaction as opposed to an action. Like you can use your reaction now. So like this is the way. Now is the time that you would use it if you want to.
Okay. Yes, I definitely want to use this.
Okay. So you took. It was 30. What was it? 31. So you take 16 points of damage. So you have 4 HP left. So Redcon, the flames clear, and you see Errol's body lying limp on the ground, and you see Balthazar still standing. And actually, as the flames are going away, you can see like some of those flames kind of being seemingly sucked into his body, and he glows slightly red for a second before it dissipates.
That's really cool.
It is now Skelly's turn.
I'm gonna give Skelly a really firm look and tell him to go as far away as possible.
Like as far as the dragon as possible?
Skelly, save yourself.
As far as the dragon as possible.
Yep. So Skelly's gonna go all the way over here.
No.
He is getting the fuck out.
Nice.
Does he automatically fail the Monster Slayer Guild test then? He left the ring.
I mean,
Flick,
considering that his
your
life
turn.
is 24 hours, I think he already failed.
Flick, your turn.
Okay, so just to measure off again. I guess I need to find this.
Hey, I missed anything you said.
Oh, I was just kind of mumbling as I was trying to figure out where I can get kind of line of sight on the dragon, which I guess is over here. I keep forgetting
that spear of darkness. You could you could still have it here.
Yeah.
Anywhere
Okay.
below this line.
Okay, so I think so first is my bonus action. After moving, I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on the dragon, which
very
just
nice.
adds
I will
1d6.
perfect.
What-
I will
what, John?
mark him as marked. I said perfect.
Okay.
I will mark him or her as marked.
Oh, yeah, very gender positive. And then I think, filled with rage at seeing my fellow gnome go down, I'm going to do a concentrated sharpshooter shot again. Which also, by the way, so this is turning into a math lesson. The probability of having two critical fails and are back to back is 0.25%.
Yeah.
So we're gonna hope that doesn't happen again. Oh, still not good enough though. That's a 6.
Jesus.
So I'm sorry, guys.
No.
I have still yet to do literally anything.
Yeah. This is
So
was rough.
this time, hang on. I'm just trying to fix this fucking circle because I care about these things and I shouldn't. And the other was breaking my own.
There we
personal
go.
immersion.
There we go.
Okay. There's your fucking darkness. Okay. So this time it's sadness as opposed to as hunger that causes your shot to just go straight into this darkness and you can't even see it come out the other side. And you already used your bonus action, right?
Yeah, that was the
That's
hunter's mark.
Hunter's Mark. All right, Dayfair, it is your turn.
All right.
You actually can't
So-
see it. It is behind this sphere of darkness, and but you imagine that it's probably approximately 10 feet off the ground now.
Okay, and we sorry, remind me what we established about dark vision. So dark vision cannot penetrate this globe of darkness.
No, it's magical darkness.
It's magical darkness. Okay.
But
okay.
actually,
well,
like, you might be able to see like its tail brushing the ground. You know, it's a sphere,
Yeah.
so like you have a sense of that it's on the other side. You just can't really see it.
okay. All right. Well, using my maximum movement, how close could I get to it?
Yours is 30 feet.
Yeah.
So you could only get to about here, unless you want to use your
Mhm.
action. If you want to use your action to dash, and then you won't be able to use your action for anything else, you could get right up next to it if you wanted to. Because you
Okay,
can get
I
another
think-
30 feet.
I think what I'll do is, all right. Wait, how do I ping again?
Just hold down and click to do a little.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So what I think I'd like to do is like move to the sort of edge right there of the
Okay.
darkness,
Mhm.
so that like I think I have a pretty decent sense of where it is. It may have a decent sense of where I am, but we can't fully see each other.
Okay. Are you going to use your action for anything, or do you want to hold your action?
I will. Yeah, I think I don't really have anything I can do. Well, actually, I believe I could bluff someone. Sorry, I got my spells. Yeah. All right. So is it still looking at Balthazar? I guess I can't tell that.
I mean, you could see around the edges of the darkness this massive jet of flame engulf this corner. So you can only assume that it is still oriented around them.
Okay. All right.
And you can see Balthazar right around the edge of that brazier.
Okay, I will cast
Brazier,
Bless on
however you want to say
Balthazar.
it. You actually
Yeah.
can cast, if you cast Bless, it hits 3 creatures. So you could hit 3 of your comrades, including yourself.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then, yeah, I will bless. Yeah, I'll bless everybody who's still up.
Awesome. Okay. So everybody who is blessed, you get to add 1d4 to every attack roll or saving throw.
Nice.
Yeah.
That will come in handy.
So I will mark you as blessed. And I think it's a nice little symbol for blessed. Sweet. And then it is Kari's turn.
Okay. Kari, having looks over her shoulder to watch Skelly run away, and then readies another arrow and is going to go ahead and fire at our little dragon friend. 17. Good. 17 plus 4. 21 to hit.
21 hits. Roll your damage.
Okay. 1d8. 4 plus 2, and I am also going to use my bonus action to do the thingy again as a 1d4. So, nice. 10 damage total.
10 damage.
Nice.
You fire this arrow.
Oh, and I can only add my Bardic Inspiration to D20, so I can't add that to a damage roll. Yeah.
Correct.
Got it. Okay, cool.
So 10 damage.
Yep.
You hit it again with an arrow. This time you're more concentrated on it, and it actually goes a good like half the length of the arrow straight into this thing's stomach. It screams out in pain and immediately turns and looks towards you.
Yep. And with that, I'm going to move myself 40 feet a fucking way. So I'm gonna run like here.
Perfect.
And presumably I'm now behind the darkness, yeah?
Yeah. If you draw a straight line to him and it doesn't hit.
Yeah.
All right. Errol is on his first death save. So he rolls a d20. 18 success. That's his turn. It is now Balthazar's turn.
So if I move in front of the dragon, does he get an opportunity attack?
If you go by him, he will. But right now, he is not adjacent to you. So you could move, and he will not get an opportunity attack.
Okay, so if I move towards the darkness, he's getting an opportunity attack. If I move south, he's not going to.
You could, like, in theory, you could go, like, to here, 15 feet, and then here. Actually, no, you could go 10 feet here, and then 20 feet here, and you could actually use your movement to get yourself right in the middle of that darkness, and he would not get an opportunity attack. He or she.
That was exactly what I wanted to do. Okay, if that's what I can do, that's what I would like to do.
Perfect. Boom, boom. You see, you watch this, like, scorched, tattered clothing Balthazar limp away into the middle of this darkness and completely disappear. Would you like to use an action for anything?
So, oh my God. Okay, so I don't see anything, but I mean, I can try to hit. Theoretically, I could try to hit him with something from the darkness.
Correct. Your attack will have disadvantage, but you can absolutely, any ranged attack, you can still make at him.
Yeah. I'm going to. One second.
Oh, wait a second. Hang on. All right, I'll have to look this up, but the rules in D&D technically are that if you cannot see your target, you have disadvantage on attack rolls. If your attacker cannot see you, you have advantage on your attack rolls. So actually, standing in the middle of that and doing a ranged attack, you technically have just a regular attack roll.
Balthazar has gained the rules.
Wow.
Okay, well.
So be it.
Then I'll attack.
All right, what do you
So I'm gonna I'm gonna use Ray of Frost.
do it? That's a spell attack, so roll a d20 and add whatever the plus to hit. So
Spell attack for 1d8 cold damage. So I do a d20 and then a d8 if it hits. Okay.
yeah, and it's +5 because of your attack modifier on your spells. So 18.
Yeah.
18 hits. Roll your d8.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
So you see coming out of this darkness, this icicle shoot out and just hit this thing in the back, and it doesn't even notice. It's still looking over towards where Kari was.
I like to imagine it's like this like little limp icicle just like barely moving, like
Yeah.
All right. It is the dragon's turn. It is going to, let's see where it's going to go.
Oh, yes.
It's going to fly
yes.
over towards Kari and
Bring
realize
it.
Kari's too far away, and instead is going to come straight at Flick.
Sorry, Flick.
And it swoops down and is now, it's actually going to land on the ground right in front of you, Flick. And
Hey, John. When it flew over me like that, was it like within range at all? Because you said it was only like a foot off the ground, and it looks like it went pretty close. Oh,
we're
okay.
going to say that, yeah, it flew like right here and then landed. So essentially,
okay.
as it came
All
out
right.
of the darkness, it saw you and kind of swooped just wide enough. It had movement too, and so
Got
it's dragons are not dumb. So it's going
I'm
to
not
land, and it's going to be on the ground. So let's see what dragon on ground sounds like. It's gonna sound like that,
Nice.
and it's gonna bite at you, Flick. Does a 22 hit?
yeah.
It bites into you and into your arm, and as it does, you can just feel the heat of its mouth singeing your skin. So you take 6 piercing damage
Ow.
and 6 fire damage. But the dragon is grounded. Skelly's turn. Is Skelly still running as far away as possible?
Yep.
All right. Skelly's going to go hide behind the shrubbery over here.
Great.
Perfect. It is Flick's turn.
So he's right on top of me, so can't really run away. Or do I have the thing that's run away with the Gloomstalker? No, so I think I guess I'm just gonna hit it with, or I'm gonna dual wield my short swords.
Great.
And just wail at it.
You very deftly rip your arm free, and in doing so, manage to drop your bow and pull out your short sword. What's the 11? What's the plus on the 11?
So the 17 is the primary, and the 11 is the secondary. They're both +5. Yeah, +5. So 22 and 16.
Hey, I'm going to speakerphone because my headphones are fucking up. What's your total on both of those?
22 and 16.
Okay. You also have bless, so roll an extra d4 on each attack.
Yes.
Okay.
So 24 and 18.
Both of them hit. Roll your damage.
And so that's also marked. Because Hunter's Mark isn't just on, right?
It's on all of your attacks. Yep. So is that an extra d6?
Yeah. So it's going to be first attack
Is a d6
plus 3.
Yep. All right.
So that's 11.
Nice.
That's 5. So
I think
16
you
total.
just made up for two nat ones and a 4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my archery spec ranger just wailed on him in close combat.
Yeah. So as it snarls at you after your arm, you pull out your short sword and snarl back and go, "Ah!" and just like cut into this thing.
Or correction, like the GIF, I first backflip, go ah, and then like lunge at him.
Perfect. I'm assuming you're not going to run away and provoke the opportunity.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm probably
Right.
too delicate for any opportunity attacks.
Dayfair, it is your turn.
All right. Can I reach the dragon yet?
It is on the ground within range. You can run over and
Oh,
yeah, you
yes.
can exactly reach. So here, I'll move you over.
Yes. All
All
right.
right.
So I'm gonna, fucking wail on it with my great sword. Oh, God.
You have
That
blessed.
is,
Roll a d4.
He's not
Oh, did you bless
blessed.
yourself? Oh, you only blessed the rest of us. That was so sweet of you.
Oh.
yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to remember what my two attacks.
If you look at the bottom of your first page, it'll say your
Yeah.
sword and it'll plus to hit.
All right, so
Plus 4?
that's 12. That's 12. Yeah.
All right. As you swing, you realize you're coming at it from behind, and you swing down, and again you hit these incredibly hard scales. Doesn't do anything.
Okay.
And no bonus actions, but you are now right next to it. So if it moves, you get an opportunity attack on it.
Cool.
Kari, you're up.
I'm going to join in the fray, and I'm going to run just straight up to this dude and try to. I don't know which direction he's facing, but I've got a ton of movement, so I'm going to try and jump on his back or her back, on their back.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. You can, if you've got the movement, make an acrobatics check.
17 plus 4, 21.
21. You
Hell yeah.
land squarely on this thing's back, right in between
All
right in the swing.
Nice. I'm going to. Oh, brother, what crazy ass monk shit am I going to do? So just as part of my attack, I get 2 unarmed strikes. So I'm going to just start going to town on him.
Go to town.
Natural 20 and a 16 plus 4. So a natural 20 and a not natural 20.
Okay, they both hit, and the first one gets double the dice damage.
Indeed. And I have, oh my god. So does an unarmed strike count as a melee attack?
Yes.
So because I'm a half-orc, have savage attacks, which means I get to roll thrice on a crit.
Nice.
So that's, oh my god, this is going to be like some real arithmetic here. So that's 3.
What to be all ones on the rolls?
9. There are 2 ones in, or no, there's 1 in there. So 3, 6, 9, 10, plus 2, plus 2. So 14 damage on those 2.
14 damage.
14 damage.
Excellent. You all see Kari just come seemingly out of nowhere and just scream with rage and just start wailing on this fucking dragon from behind. And it is like thrashing, trying to get you off of it.
How's it doing?
You have no idea. You were on its back, and you were
Okay.
very unfamiliar with the dragon.
I'm in my half-orc rage. I'm going to use a bonus action to do flurry of blows and take 2 more swings at it.
Go for it.
Shit. A 12 and a 4. Oh, but I have my D4s that I get to add to this stuff.
Yep.
And I have my Bardic Inspiration from... Well,
You
is that
do.
concentration? Because Errol's unconscious, did I lose it?
Oh, yeah, you're right. He is down, so I think that's on.
Okay. So I don't get a D6 then. So one of the rolls with the bless added is a 5, and one of them is... Or no, sorry, it's a 9 with my attack bonus. And then one of them is a 17 with my attack bonus.
Okay, so wait, what were the totals? 17, and what was the other one?
17 and 9.
Okay, 17 hits.
Cool beans. 4 damage.
4 damage.
I will mark
actually,
off the key point.
look it up. The Bardic Inspiration lasts even though he's down because he inspired you. So
Oh, okay.
pretty-
Well, is there any way that 6 plus 9 would hit?
you don't know.
So that 9 becomes a 13.
Nope, didn't hit. Okay.
That was
so
the longest
4
hit
damage?
turn in all of history. 4 damage on the one hit that actually came through.
All right. You see your flail again. All right. Errol's turn.
And, yes, cool beans. That's all.
1 failed death save.
Oof.
All right. It is now Balthazar's turn. What is our Lord of Darkness going to do?
He does it pretty badass there doing his pose in the middle of complete darkness.
Yeah.
Lauren, I think you might be muted.
Okay, so Errol has thrown how many death saves already?
He's made 2.
1 save and 1 fail.
Mhm.
And so what's the rule there again? Sorry, he needs to.
If he gets 3 death saves, if he fails 3 times before he succeeds 3 times, he's dead.
Okay. So, oh man, this is the trolley problem. Am I gonna help Errol or am I going to go to the dragon?
What would Balthazar do?
Yeah. I'm just way too amazed about the decay that is happening around in Errol, and I just find this decaying body just somewhere between life and death to be the most beautiful thing that I've seen in a really long time. So it's not really I have a choice there. I would like to join the fight, but I'm just wandering towards Errol. You know, I can't really control my own body. It's an out of body experience for me. So I walk up to him, like I kneel down next to him, like I touch his head. And then is there anything that I can do to help him? Can he get a bandage or something like this?
No, there is a way. I'm actually looking it up.
I think it's a medicine check. He can stabilize him and
Yeah, I
basically
think
have
you
him
do
sit at 0.
a medicine check. Yeah, go ahead and make a medicine check.
A medicine.
Luckily, we haven't had to
Okay.
deal with this all that often.
Yeah. So that's just a D20, right?
And then there should be a skill.
Yeah, and then look at
Okay.
your skill and see what the plus is.
Yep. Okay. Okay, wait, hang on. How do I do this? Sorry.
So on your character sheet, or it's like
Yeah.
your, it looks like wisdom modifier.
Yes. Okay, so I see what the modifier is. I see the medicine thing, but I don't know.
And then you roll a D20
Yeah, so-
and add that.
Yeah.
What?
Roll a D20 and add the plus.
Okay, that's
Under
okay.
medicine.
Okay. Yes. So that would be a total of 15.
A 15. As you reach down, completely absorbed in the miraculousness of death, you pick him up and are kind of as you're holding him, you can see him like slowly start gasping for breath again. And he is stabilized, so no more death saves. He is unconscious with 0 hit points.
Nicely done, Balthazar.
And he has an orgasming sorcerer above him.
I hope you watch this video.
It is the dragon's turn. It is going to fly. It's going to kind of leap and start to fly away, and it's going to come over here. Both Flick and Mayfair get opportunity attacks if you would like to.
Do I get both hands, or is it just the one?
Just the one, because your offhand attack is technically a bonus action.
Got it. Then plus. That's a 12, I guess. Oh, no, wait, sorry. That's a 17.
17 hits. Dave, you go ahead and make your attack.
Yes. Oh.
Nice.
19. Plus 4, so that's
Yeah.
23.
Yep. Both of you go
Okay.
ahead and roll damage.
10 for me.
All right. I roll. Sorry. Oh my god.
2d6.
Oh my god. Oh. Yeah. Sorry. My PDF was like freaking out. I don't know why. Okay. All right. But I want to like really hit it. Just like I don't know.
Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy.
Yeah. I don't know when I'm gonna get another chance, so I really want to hit it.
So you're going to divine smite him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can
I think I
spend
did
wait, that's the thing you
The
have, right?
spell slot. Yeah, Divine Smite? Definitely.
Yeah. So you can spend a spell slot to do an extra 2d8. So you can actually do 2d8 plus 2d6 plus 2.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that. All right, so here's D6 1, D6 2, so that's 10
8.
with just the great source, and then D8 1, D8 2, so that's 8, so that's 18, and I only have level 1 spell slot, right?
Yep. So mark off another one.
Yep, I got it. Okay, yep. All right, 18.
Because this is a momentous moment, I will leverage a great dungeon master tactic of saying, how do you do this, Mr. Paladin?
Well done.
Let's see. All right, so how did it begin again? It tried to fly away? Was that like how?
Fly away. Flick reaches out and gets one slash against it as it does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then I'm basically gonna like leap into the air and like just gonna like be like lit up with like all of this like just divine fucking golden light and like it's gonna like emblazon my sword with like God's holy light and I'm gonna chop it right in the neck.
Nice.
As you come swinging down and cut through the neck, and instead of the head like getting cut off, as your blade gets like halfway through, it disappears. And let's pause the music.
Record scratch. What?
It disappears, and you go tumbling to the ground, and Kari goes falling to the ground, and you're just kind of like in this pile, and like as you're rolling around, like underneath Kari, you hear this voice saying, was a red dragon, you now see a small halfling woman. And as this is happening, all of the gold badge holders that were there, and all of the people across the rooftop, all start cheering out for you, and there's this thunderous applause as this small halfling woman dusts herself off, chuckling, saying, "Well, it seems you had it in you after all." And with that, we are out of combat. And I will move us off of this map.
Wow.
Nice.
Is this
Perfect timing for you, Florian.
This is perfect timing. I have to leave in exactly 1 minute. So
Perfect.
well done, everyone. Well, no. Yes. Okay. So I need to head out.
All right, see you, Florian.
See ya. Bye,
See
Florian.
you, Florian.
Thank you. Bye.
And I'm trying to figure out how to get you guys off of this map in Roll20, but essentially we're done with Roll20 for now. So use your imagination. So let's see. How do you describe what you see? This person in front of you. She's a small halfling woman, long, kind of white grayish hair, has like piercings all down her ears, these kind of black onyx piercings, green pants, white kind of sleeveless tunic. You can just, looking at it, you can tell that this, pure silk or like incredibly fine clothing. And as she crosses her hands, you see the same symbol that are on everyone else's kind of badges that you've seen, is actually tattooed in black ink on the back of her hand. And she says,
well, before she says anything, Flick falls to his knees and wails in anguish, like just this like sorrowful, like, "Ah!"
No meat.
And at this, she turns to you, Flick, and she pats you on the shoulder and laughing and says, don't worry. The clerics will take care of your friends. They're going to be fine."
As she like,
meat!
as Car sort of fell to the ground as the dragon disappeared, she like came up into a fighting stance and then sort of slowly let her fists fall away and just gives out like a big sigh of relief and says, What's your name?
"My name is Ender, and I am the guildmaster here, and I will be the first to welcome you as new members of the guild. You have passed the final test." So that there's cheering in the background.
What's the spelling, John? Ander, did you say, or?
Ander. Ander.
Nice.
Cool.
Cool. Tight. At this, she turns and says, "Quilena, come here." And you see the robed drow that you had recognized before step forward, and she looks at her and she says, "Drop that stupid disguise." And with this, the drow, like, her image kind of fades away, and in her place you see a tall elf woman, probably about 6 feet tall, white skin, silver hair, silver eyes, in shimmering plate armor with a great sword at her back. And on the left side of her face is a dark purple kind of birthmark that kind of covers one entire side. Looking at her face, it's a timeless elven face. You have no idea how old this person is. Could be 20, could be 1,000. And she kind of smiles back at you and says, I thought you might make it. Well done, well done. And says, well, welcome them in, give the tour, give the spiel, tell them the rules, let them know what they signed up for. I've got more fights to do. And with that, this elf kind of motions to you and is like, please, if you would like, I can show you around and show you the ropes, let you know the rules around here, and we'll take your comrades over there to the infirmary. And without two of the kind of golds, the people that had been there before, kind of, you've already see over in that corner, they're helping Balthazar, and one is kind of carrying Errol away, and they're kind of marching off. And with that, she turns and starts walking towards this massive marble building and kind of large doors behind you. What would you like to do?
Blink has processed none of this because he's still heartbroken.
The whole time he's been on his knees. No!
He's been just pawing at the ground where the dragon should have fallen.
What name did Andrew use to address the fancy elf?
Paulina. Quelenna.
Okay.
And
Did you just put it in the chat?
Oh yeah, I can put it in the chat. Dayfair, not just what are you doing, but also what is Skelly doing?
I kind of whistle for Skelly to come over, and so he can just totter back over with the orb.
Nice. Perfect. As you whistle, you see the shrubbery start to rustle as he is taking the most direct path towards you, and comes out. And now, in addition to the bat in his ribcage, there's also a branch sticking out.
John, do I recognize the elf? Do I recognize her armor or her face or anything about her?
Make a perception check, I guess.
Okay. Probably not.
What was it?
2.
Yeah, 2 plus whatever.
Plus 3, 5. Yeah.
Beautiful in kind of a serene, haunting way, but other than that, doesn't seem familiar.
Okay. Well, I'll just give a sort of just sort of friendly but pretty standard greeting in Elvish.
As you say this, she's kind of walking ahead of you. She looks back over her shoulders and kind of gives a smile and nods her head and continues walking.
Cool.
As everyone else is following in?
Yeah, Kari goes back to Flick and just sort of puts a hand on his little shoulder and says, I'm sure they'll have meat inside. It's okay. Come on.
You're on mute, but
you're on mute, which makes that even funnier.
Perfect. So, as you follow her inside, again, these are 15-foot giant doors, and again, there were these massive statues. I think on this end, it was a human and a Goliath kind of in armor holding these swords down. Of course, I have a lovely map for this, which I won't show you, but I will pull it up so that I can explain appropriately what you walk through as you enter. So as you enter in, you see that you are inside, like this building is massive. You just walk in and you're in this great hall. It's probably a room that is, 35 feet wide and maybe 65 feet long. And in it, everything is gleaming marble. The floors, the walls, there's 6 kind of pillars in front of you, like long white and blue rug that kind of extends down. Along the walls are like these very elegant cushioned chairs. There's golden sconces kind of going down that seem to be kind of glowing lightly with a magical glow. And as you walk in and kind of see this, it's not necessarily opulence. It's more of just fine, high quality. You realize this is a place and a level of wealth where you couldn't you couldn't even imagine that nobility kind of lives like this. It's almost as if this guild has been around for millennia and has just been accumulating its own wealth while other factions and kingdoms have fallen over time. It has just continued to build.
Old money.
Old.
Although I'm gonna say, as we're going along, Flink has no concept of this like comparison. So he just has something that's like, "Huh, you city folks sure know how to live."
As this turns around with a slight laugh and says, "Some might say that, yes." And with that, she kind of leads you through, and as you go, you follow through, and you go through hallway that opens into other chambers, and you pass by tons of them. Some of them have long tables and benches for gathering spaces. You see tables and chairs, like, again, long marble tables with like these cushioned white chairs in places. In some rooms, kind of as you're passing by, you can see large water fountains that are almost like baths in the corner. As you go and are kind of following her through hallways and stairwells, you have no idea. You go 2 or 3 floors. This place is just massive, and we'll say that you finally, where is she going to take you? You finally settle in probably the food and drink is. That seems right. So eventually she kind of takes you to one of these, down some stairs, and you open up into this room that has these kind of 4 very long kind of gathering tables. You see a couple, people here or there. The people that you do catch in the background are as varied as you could possibly imagine. There seems to be races that you've seen before, races you've never seen before. Some clearly warriors in armor, others, walking in robes carrying books. The most eclectic place you've ever been. Doesn't really there's a ton of people. You probably only see like 4 or 5. Almost as if this place is far larger than it needs to be for the current occupants. But she settles you down and kind of turns and says, "Wine, ale, anything? You must be tired or thirsty after such strenuous test. We don't make it easy."
I'll take an ale.
Yeah, Dave here will take wine.
And for you, little one?
Juice for me.
And she turns and kind of looks over your shoulder, Dave Fair, at Skelly, and make another perception check.
Okay. That would be 16.
Okay. She says, and anything for your undead friends. But as she says this, you can see like the smile drops just for an instant as she like looks him over and her gaze pauses on the orb that he's carrying for a half second before kind of returning to this. Essentially, her resting face is like serene but somewhat inviting.
And Dayfair just responds in Elvish that he doesn't require anything. He's just carrying this strange magical object that we don't know what to do with, and we're not sure what it is. And we were hoping that somebody could explain to us what it is and what it's for.
Flick pokes Kari and asks, like, "Do you know what they're talking about?"
Not at all, little one.
She smiles and an Elvish responds saying, we can figure that out for you. Here, actually, if you want, I can go take this to one of our, we have a wizard or two around the place. I can have them start looking into this for you as I get your drinks. Sound like a plan?
Yeah, sounds good.
No, she's talking in it too.
She walks over as she's walking kind of past you out of the room and picks this up from Skelly, and you can see that, to her, it's like a bauble to her. She, like, as if it weighs nothing, kind of walks off and leaves you in this room. And you know what? Just because I have this fucking map, I'm going to fucking use it. So give me a second. And move you all over to the room you're in. I would love to say that I handmade all of this, but I didn't. I found something that was close enough and then decided this is now the reality here.
I mean, this is a much better, headquarters situation than the rat house in Barovia.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Yeah, a little bit.
But we had to sink our own blood and sweat and tears into that house. So it felt
Right,
more
we
like
earned that rat house.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay. You all see the room you're in, but nothing else?
Correct.
Nice. All right.
Yes.
There you go. This is where you are. And she kind of walked out this main entrance. And you find yourselves alone inside this guild hall. What do you do while you're waiting?
I mean, is there anything else in the room?
Essentially, there is, these things on the end, there's candelabras here on each end, kind of opening it up. There's some cushions and chairs, but essentially it's just a gathering space.
Okay.
Are there any other people, or is it just the three of us?
It is just the three of you.
Okay. Kari sort of leans over to Dayfair and says, You said your god was dead, but I mean, you smote that fake dragon / small woman, and I saw the energy coming off of you.
Yeah.
You must still be around in some capacity.
Dayfair is kind of like struggling with how to respond. Like he's clearly still hasn't worked out in his mind and in his soul what that means. And he basically says everything is different now, and I'm not sure what it means.
In the same way, Dayfair had no idea what Kari was talking about. She just sort of nods and goes back to her ale.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, at this point, Helena walks back in, and she is carrying your ale that you asked for. She is carrying a glass of wine, and next to the glass of wine, a cup of juice. Did you specify what kind of juice?
I did not.
It is bright orange.
That was a big mistake.
It was poison juice.
Right. She comes in.
Still on.
It is bright orange and effervescent. And she hands out your drink to each of you, and kind of sits down in the chair across. Says, "Well then, would you like to learn the rules of your new home?"
When do we get the shiny thing?
With this, she kind of pulls out from a pocket in the side, the cloth in between where her armor seals together, and lays down these four, actually there's three of you now, 3 copper badges. I don't think I ever showed y'all what the symbol looks like. Did I? I've just been vaguely describing it. Yeah, and I'm going to keep doing that because I don't know any easy way to show it to you. But essentially, it is think of like a compass, like on a compass 4-pointed star, with kind of a circle in the background that this is set on top of. She lays these copper badges down, and says, rules first, badges afterwards. You want to make sure you know what you're signing up for. Sound like a plan?
Well, at this point, Flick is angrier probably than Dayfair or Akari has ever seen him in their day of travels, and with all the spike fits and everything. Like, this is the angry point where he's just like slamming the table with his tiny hand and is like, what gives with this place? First you don't deliver the promised dragon meat, and now you're not giving the shiniest of shinies. The whole reason I'm here, like, you know, what kind of operation is this?
Make an intimidation check.
Yeah.
And with intimidation, that would be -1, so that's a 10.
Her expression doesn't change. It is kind but stern, looking in your direction, and she's just silently waiting.
Kari sort of makes
I
a
let
face
the
like somebody
pause.
else in class got in trouble, and like,
now Flick, understanding that he's not going to get an answer, takes his juice and is just like throwing it back and grumbling in between sips like, shitty guild.
She turns her attention to the other 2 of you and says, this is the Monster Slayers Guild. We have existed long before most of the kingdoms, actually all of the current kingdoms, and many of the prior ones that currently exist in this land. We operate based on the oath of, for the good of all. We're not here for individual self-interests. We are not here for helping one army defeat another. We are here to take care of problems and challenges that are too big for most of the peoples of the world. We kill things for money. Usually, this is because somebody needs some help. But that's the core of what we do. We're above any of the temporary problems. We are a more timeless need that has been needed for all of time. The rules are simple. Rule number 1, no fighting other members. As you will see, there are some caveats to some of these rules. So there's an exception. If you would like to, if there is a consensual duel, it can happen in the arena of bones. But other than that, there's no injuring, fighting, maiming any of the other members. If you do, punishment is a contract will be put out on your head. Any of the other members are free to take it, and then they have the right to hunt you down as if you were one of our typical quarry. Any questions on rule number 1?
Nope.
Rule number 2. We don't take part in wars. We're not mercenaries. And in fact, you are committing to never take part in a war. If you do, the punishment is the same. Contract will be put out on your head, and any of the other members of the guild are free to take it up and take you out. Rule number 3, when you take up a contract, this is how we operate. Individuals, kingdoms, peoples, whoever has the coin can reach out to us and ask for our help, tell us what they're willing to pay. Contract is out, any of the guild members can take it. But once you take it up, you are bound to it until it's complete. You can't take new contracts. You can't give up on it. You must do whatever it takes. And if it seems like you will not be able to finish said contracts put out on your head, you get killed. Make sense?
Yep.
And the last rule, which hopefully you were all well aware of before you entered into the test, membership is for life. There's no leaving. If you do leave,
Actually, you know, I was supposed to go back to my village. This is awkward.
well, she turns to you and says, well, one of the perks of being a monster slayer is that for the most part, these badges give you free reign, as they mark you as someone that is independent, not on any side, and typically it allows you to actually have more freedom to wander than you would otherwise. And you're welcome to go visit your home, but you are committing to a life of service of this guild and essentially the peoples of this land.
Yeah, but you also said the thing about no wars. So does it count as a war if my village goes over to the people, those assholes in Bimble Hollow, and we, you know, rough them up a bit, like, you know, because that's what the elders were kind of training me to do. Is that a bad thing?
Yes, that would qualify as exactly what you were not allowed to do.
Yeah. And then back to the grumbling and anger juicing.
At this, she smiles though, and she says, just to give you a little taste of the kind of contracts that we get coming through here. Recently, there was a town that was dealing with a hippogriff that came across their land and was messing with some of their herds of cattle. So one of our members had to go take out said hippogriff. Typically, there's no constraints on what you're allowed to do with the body or corpses afterwards. Only the
follow-up question:
unique of contract.
What does hippogriff taste like?
There's only one way to find out, little one.
Okay. I see what you're about. Okay.
Any questions from any of the rest of you? Concerns?
I do have a question about the specifics of the word war. As a paladin, I am occasionally called upon by my deity to fight in the service of my deity. And of course, these are conflicts that far outrange and surpass the squabbles of the common people. But there may be times where the callings of my God conflict with the callings of this organization.
Well, this is a tension that many of the paladins that have come through here have to deal with. That is between you and your God to determine. I will say this. There is a caveat to the membership being for life. You can choose to leave, and if you do, a contract will be put on your head with a slight difference. If you fight someone or you're getting a contract out of punishment, the contract is free. There's no cost for anyone to take it. If you willingly leave, the contract actually, anyone who is interested in taking it must buy said contract. And it is appropriate to whatever ranking within the organization you had achieved. So it comes down to, at that point, whether or not someone within our halls actually desire to see you taken out, or perhaps gain something that you have. But there are definitely people who have chosen to leave and left with great respect, or at least cast great enough fear into their other members of the guild, where they're off living off their days in some way or another. So, don't know if that changes things for you. I think the larger question you must ask yourself is, does this align with what you think your God may want of you, or does this conflict with what your God may want of you?
The contract can only be bought by another member of the Monster Slayers?
Correct. And at this, she kind of laughs and is like, but it doesn't matter, because most people out in the world could not even come close to being a danger to any of our members. So anyone could try to kill you at any time, but typically our badges both carry respect and independence, sometimes some fear.
Our contract, do we select our contracts, or are they assigned to us?
Well, typically we have a long inventory of contracts, and based on your kind of ranking within the guild, you have access to different contracts. Usually, for new members, we kind of help them along a little bit by giving them a kind of test run of sorts. After that, you will be free to take whatever fits your fancy.
Do any of them involve orcs?
With that, her smile grows wider, and she says, some do, some don't. Is this a question of something you are trying to run towards or away from?
Our group wants one of those. And she just grabs her mug and takes a swig.
She laughs and says, as a note, though, as you may have noticed coming through our halls, we are accepting, we do not bring into these halls many of the prejudices that happen in the outside world, some of which you may have experienced yourself. And so the wars between orc clans or humans and dwarves and whatnot are the same to us as any other war, and they're things that we are strictly forbidden from taking part of.
Kari just furrows her brow and keeps jerking her
Now,
head.
this isn't to say, if you have some sort of vengeance that you seek, feel free. We just don't meddle in the larger affairs of the land. We aren't mercenaries.
Just like a shy, quiet nod.
And how do we get
Um,
the shinier badges?
She laughs again. Well, you see, there are 4 ranks within our organization. They follow the, rarities of metals around here because someone ages ago seemed to think that was a quaint thing to do. There are coppers, silvers, golds, and platinum. As you spend more time here, you will see that as you go up in ranks, there are fewer and fewer. As one, you must prove yourself time and time again in order to move forward. But also, this is dangerous work, and most, if not all, but most of our members, it is membership for life because it is the work that takes them out. That being said, most are rewarded handsomely in their own way, whether it be through their independence or their accomplishments. Some just like to kill things, and others like the coin. So it is a good life while it lasts, but each has its own endpoint. You may notice that there's far more coppers than there are silvers in this organization, just because that's the math of how many we need to be able to kind of ensure a pipeline, if you know what I mean. So prove yourself, and you'll get shinier and shinier badges, I promise. Any other questions? Does this light a fire within you, or cause you to want to turn back? Because this is your one and only option to make that choice.
Kari reaches over and grabs one of the badges.
Yeah, Dayfarer does the same.
Yeah, I'm just like reaches out, pauses, and takes the badge.
She says, well, fantastic. Welcome to your new home. I'm sure it's an upgrade for some, if not all of you. I will show you to your rooms, and then start explaining kind of the first way you can help your new home. And at this point, we'll kind of fast forward a bit, but she shows you throughout the guild hall. Oh, we still have this nice wind sound going in the background. It's a surprisingly drafty place. No, she shows you around, and it's gargantuan. It's like a fortress in the mountain. There's 5 floors to it. The floors are roughly, the bottom floor is an armory, and treasury, which is like outfitted with enough to like arm an army, a small army. You see weapons and armor, and you walk by one room that almost seems like it's just got like treasure and gold just like scattered on the floor. There's the next floor up is the living quarters, and she shows you to your room or your rooms. As newcomers, you unfortunately are kind of relegated to a bunk room that has actually it's right here on the map, close to you. A bunk room where you're kind of sharing space, but you each have your own bed, your own trunk to store things in. She tells you that there's food and drink. Simple food and drink is provided for all. There's a library floor. There's an entire floor that's a great hall, and you're told that the top floor is just for the guildmaster Ander, and that is her private quarters. Any, like, before kind of moving on, any like questions or things of note that you would be kind of asking about or looking out for?
Carl, I'm assuming that we just get like a free refill on all of our like arrows and ammunition and things like that. They've got what we need.
Yes. So for simple things like ammo, it's take what you need. She almost laughs at the question as like it's such a pittance compared. Like you literally walked by a solid gold armored statue at one point in this. Actually, it was at this point that you asked about refilling the arrows.
Are there other goodies that we're able to see like in the armory, and that's something we can hash out later if we want. But I think about like shopping.
Yep. We'll come back to that.
Okay. And then Carl also asked about sending a letter, if they have like a post or anything like that, or couriers.
She informs you they are not a civilization. There are no kind of public services of this sort, but so you're gonna have to rely on some of the couriers that exist in any of the number of towns.
And does she know what the nearest town is?
It would be whatever town y'all came by on the way.
Okay.
Which, if I remember correctly,
Town.
Yes.
Yes.
You were south of Tribor and north of Westbridge is where the Sword Mountains are. So those are a couple of the closer ones.
Good deal.
Anybody else?
Dave Bear asked where he can go to pray.
Where he can go to pray? That's a great question. Let's look at. There's no particular temples within this place, but as you kind of walk through, you glimpsed some kind of small altars that were clearly set up in certain individual like chambers and rooms, and you get the sense, or you're told that, especially as you kind of ascend in rank and actually have your own space, you're welcome to do with it as fits you. So it's kind of on you to make whatever space you need for your own deity. Many use the courtyard for communing with theirs.
Okay, cool. This is sufficient.
And then I missed in your description of rooms, was there the kitchen where the food is?
There's absolutely a kitchen. I think it's on like the rooms to the, let's see. Well, I don't know. There's food everywhere. Yeah, there's a kitchen and there's a great hall. There's all kinds of
They're just leaving the food out?
Here, is it the Great Hall? Is that where the kitchen is? The cellar.
Monster Slayers Guild is slobs.
There's a cellar on the Great Hall, and I think the kitchens are down actually the quarters where you are as well. You know what? We're going to say that this room over here is the kitchen because fuck it. This is now the kitchen. Enjoy. It's right across from your bedroom, actually. It's great.
And then is there any food currently out?
There is, let's see, it was like,
especially any meat.
Like 3 in the afternoon. Yeah. Specifically what? Any meat?
Meat. Because again, the dragon
see,
got me hungry.
You don't see any meat, but if you are requesting some, she says she could easily have someone bring you some. It's probably like 3 in the afternoon, so probably nothing is out.
Hmm. Hmm. I don't go so far as to ask, but I make my displeasure known. Just by like grumbling noises and stuff.
Perfect. Let's see. What else did she tell you about? She says as she's walking you past the armory and the vaults and whatnot, she says that starting at silver rank is when members gain access to the armory. And there's a system for kind of swapping out items that may be helpful or not, but you have to be at least a silver for that. And she eventually she does take you to one part of the armory and say, as a welcome gift of sorts, you're each welcome to take one item. And kind of laying on a table in front of you are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 items. 7 items. There is gotta start looking up these items. Hang on.
Items.
Yeah. Hang on. It'll be worth it. Okay. There is a sword that is glowing bright white. There is a set of armor that is has this smoke that is rising off of it.
And what size of person is the armor?
It's as you ask this question, she informs you that these are magical items, and most magical items, part of the enchantment is that they kind of adapt to the size of the wearer.
Like the one
there is a there is a flat iron rod. There is a jug. A ceramic jug with a stopper in it. There is a bag. There's a cloak that looks kind of like a manta ray.
Cool.
And there is a robe that has these patches all over it that have different shapes and colors to it.
Metagaming Adam knows what that is and is really excited.
Yeah, she says, like, feel free, whatever takes your fancy, let me know.
What does the rod do?
The rod, this rod, it has this button here on the end. She shows it to you. And when you click it, she holds it in the air and clicks it, and then takes her hand away, and it is affixed in the air, just floating where it was.
Oh, nice.
Some call these immovable rods.
Kari hops up and starts doing pull-ups on it. And then, like, in the air, looks around and starts...
Yep, doesn't move at all. She reaches up and clicks the button again and puts the rod down.
So Flick, like at first when going through the entire express, he just keeps doing the like picking out like, what's this? What's this? But then he like actually like fixate, like, you know, again he keeps kind of like coming back to like the smoking armor, and it's like, no, but what is this?
And what kind of armor does Flick wear?
Well, currently light leather armor.
Okay, so it is a set of leather armor, and it is it literally just has this kind of odorless smoke kind of rising off of it, and she says that's a set of smoldering armor. It smolders. That's it. Some people like that kind of look, though.
It doubles as a meat smoker.
So it's just like if I were to put it on, I'd be a tiny smoking gnome.
Yep, constantly. And it's just like little wisps. Kind of like imagine like a really hot football player on a cold field, and you see the steam rising up, except it's smoke, just constantly coming off of flicks.
And does it like
really
just the
hot
body, or does it have like a
football
helm?
No, it's just the body.
Okay. That if it had a helm that I could like. All right. So Flick's gonna put it back. You know, less than impressed with the fact that it's not as cool as he thought it was.
What about
I don't know, Dayfair, do you want to take a crack at one?
Well, I mean, obviously, I zeroed in on the sword.
Yeah,
it-
we'll say that it's
He's
a
just
great
petting
sword.
Yep.
And we'll say that it's a great sword, and it is like halfway in its sheath, and the sword part of it is glowing. And she says, "This is a moon touch sword, similar to the armor. Works like a normal sword. Just happens to cast off a bit of light. Can be handy in certain situations. Can be detrimental in others."
Well, as somebody who already can't sneak, I don't think it's really going to hurt me in that area. Yeah, and I mean, it pleases me aesthetically because it makes me think of the light of my God.
And Kari, did you choose the immovable rod, or are you still?
She just asked about it.
She's still playing around with it, but she is not.
All right. What's the manta cloak?
The manta cloak. So this one, as you're kind of holding it up and looking, and you see it's got a hood on it, and as you're looking at the back, you realize it looks like a manta ray, like straight up. And she says that when you're wearing it with its hood up, you can breathe underwater, and it makes you a much faster swimmer, almost as if you have a swimming speed of 60 feet. But pulling the hood up or down requires an action.
That's legit.
Flick's gonna keep his eye on that one. And then so we also have a bag, and we have what?
A bag, a jug, and a robe.
A bag, a jug, and a cloak, or a robe.
Sorry, what was the middle one? A bag, a what, and a robe?
A jug.
A jug.
Jug. Oh, yeah. Kari, do you have any other ones that you're questioning, or?
Kari puts the rod down, and sort of, she's wearing like a purple cloak with like a cape that seems like very fine. And she picks up the other robe and looks at the patchwork, and is sort of like making a skeptical look, and looks up at Helena and says, "Gifts."
Well, that is a remarkably useful robe. It has a patch on it that looks like, no, and as you're looking at the patches, you see two that look like daggers, two that look like bullseye lanterns, two that look like mirrors, two that look like 10 poles, two hempen rope, and two sacks. And it also has, let's see, slash roll 4d4. It has 9 other patches. And she explains that if you pull off one of these patches and throw it to the ground, it will turn into that item. The other patches that it has are, we're going to generate them right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8. Adam, will you write this down for me?
Yeah.
Okay. It has a patch that looks like a riding horse with saddlebags. It has a patch that looks like silver copper. It has a patch that looks like a window.
Silver
a patch
copper?
that looks, yep. A window. A
Window?
rowboat. A wooden ladder. A pile of gems.
Holy
Another wooden ladder.
shit. Okay.
Another silver copper. And another window.
Nice.
But she also informs you that once you've used all of the items or all the patches, it's just a normal robe.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the bag?
The bag. Well, it's ooh, actually, here, I think there might be a picture for this one. She explains this bag can hold quite a lot of crap.
Bag of holding.
As a bag of holding. Can hold up to 500 pounds, not exceeding a volume of 64 cubic feet.
Wait, how many pounds?
But as you
500?
pick it up, as you pick it up, you realize it is remarkably heavy for a bag. Seemingly empty, but the bag weighs 15 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I think that. Oh, also, does it keep meat well? Is it refrigerated?
Not as well as the smoldering armor.
So she says, actually, no, unfortunately it doesn't. I think what you were asking about is called a bag of colding. We don't have one of those here.
A bag of
Did
holding.
you just make that pun on the spot, John?
No, I think there's it is a homebrew item, but
That's hilarious.
yeah.
Portable
It's
fridge.
actually it's a Critical Role homebrew item.
Oh, really?
So
Wow.
That's so funny. The bag of cold.
and at that point she says, and in case I see no one has been interested in this jug, but I find it quite interesting.
Look, lady, we don't want your jug.
Quit trying to push your jug on us.
She completely ignores you and keeps talking. She says, this is an alchemy jug. You can have it produce one of many different liquids, either acid or poison or beer, honey, mayonnaise, oil, vinegar, water, salt water, or
Mayonnaise? I didn't know that mayonnaise was a thing in the Forgotten Realms. That's hilarious.
I don't know if you guys, well, I know Adam hasn't, but John, I don't know how deep you got in Dungeons and Daddies. I figured that's what the jug
I'm
was.
like
because
an
it comes up
hour
there.
into the first episode. It's
Oh
so good.
no, I haven't gotten to any jug parts. So what would you
But
say?
I think, I'm gonna, I guess, turn to Dayfair and Kari, just like thinking out loud. I am torn between the swimming cloak and the bag, because I can imagine just collecting lots of trinkets with the bag. So I don't know if you guys have any thoughts or claims on either one of those.
So I'm imagining the in-game translation is Slick holds up the bag and the cloak and looks at the rest of them and is like,
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm very happy
Yeah,
with
so
my
Dayfair's
sword.
going with sword. Kari, what are you looking at?
I'm still looking
And
at the
it's like,
rod and the robe.
What comes over is like tugging on, like, what are you doing? Like,
Well, I can see very specific instances where this rod would be useful, especially given the fact that I'm, pretty adept at flips and jumps and things like that. But you're a pretty good climber, so that actually might negate the need for this rod. I think I'm going to go with the robe.
Okay, so you're doing robe. I think I'm going to do the bag.
All right,
Kind
we've
of
got
eliminate
a
the holding. Or also to be clear, so it can carry 500, but I don't carry that weight. I just always carry 15, right?
correct.
Yeah, I think I'm doing the bag then.
Great. Add a bag of holding to your inventory. And Kari, you get to add your robe of useful items, which you are now in charge of keeping track of all of those items.
Yeah, I'm going to add it to my sheet. Wait, that number that you rolled is the number of other patches it has, so I know everything it has because it's got this bulleted list on the DMG
Yep.
and then this stuff. Got it.
Yep. Now, Dayfair, you're taking the sword.
Yep.
Now, are you going to use this to replace your current sword?
Well, I was going to ask about one thing, like, so this is a magical item, I assume, because it's magically imbued with light, but it doesn't have any other difference from a greatsword stats-wise. Like, it's not like
Correct.
a +1 or anything like that.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Okay, but yeah, I guess I'm going to attach my my focus, my like religious symbol that I have as my focus, which has been attached to the pommel of my sword, and I'm just going to attach it to this new one. Yeah.
Great. And we will say that this is going to be in a scabbard on your back, so by default, it is sheathed and not producing light. But if you pull it out, it is always producing light. Yep.
Got it.
You can't turn the light off. You did make an astute observation, which is even though it doesn't do any extra special type of damage, it is a magic item. So there are many creatures who can't be harmed or have resistance to non-magical attacks. So technically all of your attacks with this will be magic.
Okay. Got it.
Great. At this point, she then turns to you and says, "Well, now that that's settled, are you ready for your first task?" As I said, typically you're allowed to take contracts as you please, but the test is the test gets you in the door, and this is almost kind of a test part two. It just makes sure that you can kind of operate on a team at a little broader scale, and unfortunately turns the way to kind of weed out a lot of our kind of newcomers. Ready to learn?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Fantastic. We want you, and you're still standing in this kind of vault, and she says, fitting to the area that we're in, we need you to go retrieve some weapons for us. Durgadin was a master smith who forged blades of surpassing quality and power. Centuries ago, his home was sacked by orcs. And as she says this, she's looking straight at you, Kari, with a smile. Durgadin led the remnants of his clan to the mountains north of the town of Blazingdel and established a small secret stronghold somewhere in the trackless wilderness. Flick, pause, asking Flick, or DM question for Flick. Is he familiar with the geography of the broader area of where he grew up, or was he like so insular in the woods that like civilization outside doesn't matter to him at all?
Yeah, I think that he had been pretty, like his only world had been inside of the Lurkwood.
Cool. Well, here, we'll make an intelligence check to just see if he like picks up anything in the interim. Nope. Is it a natural one?
Which is fitting, is a critical fail.
That seems
Perfect.
like you've got 3 of those now for this session.
Yeah.
And actually, the other 2 of you make history checks, just because, I don't know, I'm going to assume that in this kind of world, you're like general geography is probably not great for most people because shit's far away.
Well, I know for sure I'm not using roll 20.
17.
5 and 17. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you, Scalf, know that Blasingdale is close to Mirabar, which is, you know, what in the same northern part of the world as Silvery Moon, but far to the west on the other side of the Lurkwood. And Blasingdale is, you know, a small town kind of west of that. So he led the remnants of his clan to mountains north of the town of Blasingdale and established a small secret stronghold somewhere in the trackless wilderness. From his hidden stronghold, he waged a decades-long vendetta against all orc kind, until his enemies discovered his fortress and attacked it after a long siege. Durgadin and his followers perished, and much wealth was carried away by the conquering hordes. But it's said that the deepest and best hidden vaults and armories escaped the looting, and that some of Durgadin's extraordinary blades still wait in the darkness. This is where we need you to go. We're not sure who currently is the master of this stronghold, but we know that it has changed hands many times over the years. But as the tales tell us, the looting likely hasn't made it all to its farthest depths. We know during his time there, he carved out a good chunk of that mountain. So we're not sure how far down it goes, but we need you to go explore and retrieve some of these weapons to bring back for the guild's armory.
Okay.
May or may not be an orc in the mix who needs to be slain.
You can sort of see Kari in conflict between the promise of orcs, but also like voices a question of how will this serve the greater good? We're just going on an errand to fetch the guild more magical stuff.
So you are getting more weapons that will help us in our monster slaying as we do. You'll also largely be proving that you are capable to actually serve the greater good.
Kari thinks about that for a minute.
Dayfair asks if we know if any other organizations have been dispatched to deal with this issue.
We actually know not. We know these, you know, the tales of Durgadin have been around for centuries. So, like I said, we have no clue who currently holds this stronghold, or I think we know that the depths of this place are likely far deeper than most would be willing to go into. So even if there are some small factions that may have laid claim to this area now, we doubt there's many that could survive far enough in to actually find any remaining, valuable weapons that Durgadin may have left. Most on the surface were taken years ago.
Okay. Well, I think we can handle this.
If it involves killing orcs, I'm in.
What about you, little one?
Flake is just still playing with his bag of holding, like just like opening and going, what? Like sticking his head in, and again completely like oblivious.
Sticking his
so you
head
can take it as a yes.
As he's playing with it, he realizes that holds a pocket dimension in the astral plane, and if you were, let's say that he experiments with it long enough, even putting his head inside, to where he realizes that there is not much air inside, and if he were to submerge himself inside, he would not have very long before he suffocated.
Guys, my head feels funny.
He comes back out. From underwater. God.
And then she says, thanks. Watching Blake with his head in the bag, she says, "Fantastic, you're all in."
Yes.
we don't want to waste any time on this one. So one other element.
What about Balthazar and Errol?
Oh, they're still healing up. Their wounds. They seem to take the brunt of that lovely dragon. So. If you'd like to rest up yourselves, we'll have you three kind of head on first. We'll send them along. We'll send them along shortly afterwards. She informs you that the guild has been around quite a while and has employed many wizards. So they actually have a network of teleportation circles around the land.
They will be so happy with this campaign.
They have a house, kind of a guild house, in each of the major cities, or at least close by. Most of them are typically just kind of a shack, and in the basement there is a teleportation circle. And there's a local steward that kind of essentially just kind of oversees the property, as well as kind of they're the ones who aggregate the contracts and requests that are coming in. And so,
what is that person called? Sorry.
Just the steward.
A steward.
Yep. Simple people, but paid well to kind of do their job without fail. And have intense.
So I'm imagining like a 1940s mailroom with like guys just like smoking in pneumatic tubes coming in and out of portals.
Yes, exactly. That is how it is now. So she tells you that this town Blasingdell, actually, they have a guild house there, not for anything about the town itself, because it's a small town of only a couple thousand people, but it's the closest that, it's their house that's closest to Mirabar. And Mirabar being a much larger city, and it is, 10 miles west of Mirabar. So, and that this is just kind of the closest place to where this hideout is. And the last thing she does is she gives you a map.
I was going to ask for a map.
She does indeed. She gives you.
Kari then looks at Fleck and says, "Not that we need a map with your skills and everything. I'm just saying it'll make it easier for all of us." No offense.
None taken.
Very good. Wait,
Great.
DM question.
Yeah, I'm trying to find that.
Mirabar is the place with the nearest circle that we're going to use for transportation. Blasingdell is the town that is near Mirabar and is closest to this fortress. And the actual fortress is called Durgaden?
No, Durgaden was the name of the
guy who built it.
The guy who built it, yes.
Okay.
She didn't say the name of the fortress.
Got it.
Yep. She'll find the map for you. It's really just a map of the mountain. It's honestly one of the least useful maps, but she'll get it to you.
Do you know what
she
the
says,
horse is called? Asked Kari.
No, but you may be able to ask around Blasingdale. Maybe someone there could, I would imagine having something so close for so long, there's must be someone there who can help you out.
Good deal.
Let me know when you are ready to depart, and we will have you on your way.
Are we like resting up and stuff first, or we've already rested? Is that what we've said, or?
You have not rested. You drank a glass of juice and then walked around a really big fortress, and it's probably like getting late at night.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably feeling a little tired, but you can do whatever you want.
Let's go to bed first. I have a key point to recoup.
Yeah.
I expended myself more on the bats than I did on the dragon. Just saying.
I'm not gonna lie. I had a plan for if you all lived or if it was a total party kill, and I had more detail on the latter because I assumed there's no way, based on all the other fights, that I won't have to. Because I was like, I'm not gonna pull any punches, and I didn't pull any punches, and this is the first fight that y'all just fucking rocked, versus like nearly dying from some of the easier shit that I came at you.
The first
And that was
round
also with
horrific.
like my jank completely failing.
I was going to say, I don't think any of us hit in the first round, and I was like, well, we're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But round two.
Apparently
we were
seeing
dead.
Balthazar and Errol lit a flame, like really, made us focus. We were like, shit's for real.
Yeah.
It lit the fire for you.
Yeah, I realized the pun was there when that is, but thanks, John, for being the lesser man.
Yep, no problem. So you all take a long rest. You're sleeping through the night.
Yeah, I think that's a good
Sounds
idea.
good.
Yes, you settle down and you realize that your chambers are simple to start, but it's incredibly comfortable bed, and you're kind of all in this shared room, bunking together for the second time as a group. Your first time was in the middle of a platform in the middle of the mountain. This is a bit more comfortable. You are all exhausted, most of you. Flick's probably actually just like still wired and like struggling to get to sleep.
He's like that kid at the sleepover who's like
Regretting he didn't get the jug for more juice.
The other two, you follow. You have your own thoughts you grapple with as you go to sleep. As your first night in the Monster Slayers Guild. So enjoy a long rest. We'll actually say that everybody hits level 4, but we're not going to do anything with it until after the session. So,
Nice.
but for now, just give yourself a long rest. Which if you're using Fantasy Sheet, you can just click the long rest button. Which we realized last time it does reset spell slots, but not hit points. I think was it something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, you're off on your way to your next adventure the next day.
Cool.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Great. I say we go ahead and. Well, I was gonna say we jump into it and
Yeah,
get
sure.
20 minutes in and then call it a session.
Totally. I presume we would have
Um,
asked, I keep forgetting her name, Kalena?
Quillina.
Saying that right?
Yeah,
Quillina?
it's spelled in the chat. Yep.
That's right. Well, it's not pronounced in the chat, unfortunately. I presume she would have shown us where in the headquarters the top circle was.
She says it's it's the large platform you were in outside.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So we'll say the next day you're all rested up. You enjoy a lovely breakfast of warm bread and lots of bacon, sausages of a meat that you can't quite you've never quite had before. Flick. Don't know what it is, but sure tastes good.
Yeah, so I'm just imagining like double fisting, bacon in one fist, sausage in another, going, and far more meat than you've ever seen a tiny gnome eat.
Correct.
After breakfast, he walks you out. It is a brisk morning. There's actually a bit of snowfall on the ground, and the light dusting kind of filtering through the air. Even though it is, when you started your adventures the day 2 days ago, it was the first day of summer. So you know that you are high in the mountains in a place that is seemingly endlessly cold. And she takes you to the teleportation circle. She actually, there's another person there. Who would be the one to do this for you? We'll say it is not that one. That one. That one. There's got to be a wizard.
And do we have
somewhere.
Errol and
We're reunited
Balthazar with us again?
friends.
Nope, they are still recovering.
God.
They'll meet up with you down the line.
Was it that serious?
Yeah, it was bad.
Yes.
Great. Oh, fantastic. As she walks you out, after you've kind of made your preparations, the only other person who is out by this marble platform is a turtle. This second turtle you've come across.
Normal?
Long robes that are just ragged and dirty. Think like Pigpen from Charlie Brown, like just disgustingly dirty robes. She introduces you. She says, "This here is Sunny, one of our resident wizards. Frequently helps us with when we need to get around from place to place. She doesn't speak. We don't know if this is by choice or she can't, but she hasn't the entire time she's been here. But she's proved herself in many other ways. So, and with that, Sunny kind of invokes the incantation and sends you off to through this portal, and you come to in a very dusty, small room that is literally just big enough for this teleportation circle. The ceiling is only like right at 7 feet, 6.5, 7 feet tall, just enough for some of you. There's no lights, but we've established everybody has dark vision. Everybody has dark vision. So as Kari and Dayfair look around, you don't see Flick. You just see the two of you. Flick, you are there, but you are,
because of this dark.
you see your friends.
Yeah, and I think I say something like, "Ooh, it's so roomy here," even as they're maybe struggling to fit in.
Yeah, and as Flick says this, you look down and you concentrate really hard, and you can see that he's right there next to you this whole time. There is a we'll like fast forward a little bit. There's one kind of stairwell that comes up into a one-room kind of small house that is also just covered in dust, and a door on the front that is you find completely unlocked, and you find yourself emerging into a small mining town. It's let's see, kind of uneventful. I mean, mostly kind of stonework buildings. From just kind of wandering around, like you get a sense that there's a, you know, the small town has a mayor. There's a town watch. There's one you know, general goods store, Tolmes Superior Outfitting and Dry Goods, one inn and tavern, and there's the town only has one temple, and it is a temple to the god. It is a temple to Ilmater.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
In terms of like the populace we see, is it humans, dwarves, gnomes, just like a random assortment?
It is mostly humans.
Okay.
You see a you know, there's a dwarf here or there. You know, a half elf here or there. So, you know, most towns in the Forgotten Realms are mostly human, but you know, there's a smattering of other races.
I imagine that we would want to, Kari gathers the group and just suggest that maybe we ask around about this fortress and see what the locals know about it before we just go, you know, knocking the door down.
Flick is in awe that he's never seen a city of this size.
Nice. All right. Kari leads us to the one inn and tavern, the lone establishment for drinking. It's like what, like sometime in the morning?
The one tavern?
Yeah.
One second. Yep. So you head to the tavern. It's called the Griffin's Nest Inn and Tavern, and there you're greeted by the, you know, at this point it's probably early morning. You can see kind of this half elf female who is, you know, cleaning off the tables, clearly getting kind of opening up for the day. Sees you walk in, half orc, gnome, and half elf, and kind of nods in your direction, seemingly not fazed by any of this, and just says, "Yeah, what can I do for you?"
Hi, my name is Flick. We're looking for some magic weapons left in a fortress here.
Fortress in Blavendale?
No, it's outside of town. Durgadin. Durgadin? Right, Durgadin?
Are you talking about Kundrakar? The old dwarf fortress up in the Stone Tooth Mountain? I mean, that's about 30 miles north of town.
30.
And when you were outside, you realized that this town is like in the foothills, right up, kind of. It's in the mountains.
Oh, because we're in Mirabar, not in Boogity Boo.
No. You
Not
are in
Blasingdale.
Blavendale. You are in Blasingdale. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which is the closest teleport point.
Got it.
Yes.
Boogity boo.
Boogity Boo. I guess does Kari get the sense that Flick's method of conversing with this lady was effective and she's telling the truth?
Yeah, I mean, she seems like a, you know, simple tavern owner in a small town. Like, you don't know why she would be lying to you.
Okay. And what she said is reflective of what we saw on the map?
Yeah, she, like, you never got a map. She said, yeah, we thought we had one. We didn't. Somebody lost it.
But based on what had been described to us as we were receiving the mission, that sounds right.
Yeah, this sounds right. You know, it was somewhere, you know, close to Blasingdale, 30 miles north. Sounds right.
Okay, Blake just shrugged it. Okay, I guess that's all we needed, and starts turning to walk out the door.
As Flick is leaving, Kari sort of flashes the badge and says, what do the locals say about this fortress?
When she sees the badge, she kind of like stops what she's doing and kind of like stands up, not afraid or anything, but just like almost as if like realizing you were talking to like, you know, officer in the military when you thought you were talking to like some Joe Schmo on the street.
Kari flashes her like a very friendly smile, like not trying to be intimidating, but also recognizing
with her
with the tux, but also, you know, recognizing the difference in size and the authority. Like, doesn't want to speak
and what was the question?
Like, stern.
What was the question she asked?
Just like, what stories do the locals tell? Is there fact or fiction? It's all helpful. We just want to know, like, what do people say about this place?
Well, I mean, it was an old shield dwarf stronghold years ago, and then it's changed hands by orcs from the Many Arrows tribe, you know, coming in centuries ago, and then I think they left, and they may be back by now. I mean, the orcs in general up in these mountains have been, I mean, especially fierce and resurgent these past 20-some years.
Kari's face darkens.
Yeah, there's, you know, there was treasure there once. I think a minute much of it's been taken. Who knows what's left? Most people around here just don't mess with it. It's more trouble than it's worth. Listen, you clearly may have better chances than we will. So if you're trying to get there, it's probably about 3 days on foot, maybe 2 days on a horse. There's a lot of, it's mostly mountains and dense forest on the way there. Yeah, that's kind of it.
Is there a place in town that sells horses?
You could go see if Tom over at the general goods store kind of has any. I don't think that's typically what he kind of operates in. We're a small town. We usually don't get, most of the people leading horses are the ones out on the farms, and they, you know, kind of sell to each other.
Mm-hmm. Did we get a per diem as part of this work trip? I didn't even think to ask.
Oh yeah, oops.
The corporate card.
Yeah. Where's our Dodge Stratus?
When we get some horses, we have to name one Dodge and one Stratus.
Yes.
And then Honda and Odyssey will round out the group.
Of course.
Okay. Interrogation over. Kari nods and sort of turns and walks away and thanks her. Too early for ale, unfortunately, or else she would have bought one.
Anything from Dayfair?
Dayfair just kind of like collapsed into like onto a bench at like an empty table near the bar, and it's just been like going through his like whatever is like the facsimile for somebody who worships Tyr for like a rosary. Like he's just like going through his like prayers like really like feverishly and desperately.
So we're just killing any chance of business for this woman.
Kari sort of like feels
possible.
around in her pockets and finds like 5 silver in her pocket and just hands it to this woman and says, the Slayer's Guild thanks you. We'll be on our way.
Oh, well, thank you. Anytime.
Hopefully we see
Where
you
to
in a
next?
few days. I guess, is there's
So
some sort of
Flick,
path out of
emerging
town?
back on the street first, is most intrigued by the store sign that says ration,
Ooh.
and has started gravitating towards it. By
Well,
the time Kari
there's-
comes back out.
Yeah, there's one that says Superior Outfitting and Dry Goods. So
Or
you
yeah.
imagine that there might be
Or I got like a whiff of some jerky or something.
yeah, sure. Perfect.
Or do I need to roll
yeah,
for
it's,
jerky smell?
No. You find the general goods store. It's a male dwarf runs it. His name is Keldagan Tolm, and it is Tolm
Oh, boy.
Superior Outfitting and Dry Goods. We won't go through the actual conversation, but it is a general store that will sell, I will say, any adventuring gear that costs less than probably 5 gold. I doubt most people around here have much more than that, which includes rations. So he sells them at 5 silver a piece if you want them.
Are they just like basic rations, or are they like
Yep.
specialty rations?
Deluxe rations.
No, we'll say that
Gluten-free rations.
no, it's all jerky of different types because it is dry goods.
Wow.
So I have to pull out the inventory guide and what adventuring items are.
Yeah. I mean, the way I would say it is, if there's something in particular that you want that might be useful, such as rations, it would have that.
Or
I don't
do they
know.
have cooking supplies?
Cooking supplies? I mean, he probably sells I think a
Cook's
mess kit.
utensils.
Cook's utensils.
I'm looking at
Is that
tools.
a thing?
Cook's utensils.
Yeah.
One gold piece.
Sure. We'll say that he has cook's utensils. Yep.
I think
There they are.
Yeah. As he finds them, he's like, "Oh, adventuring is a hard life. With a cook along on the journey, your meals will be much better than the typical mix of hard tack and dried fruit." Yeah. So do you
Yeah,
want
with a cook, it would
He
be
just made that
better.
as a spot, didn't he?
But also, like,
Go for
Oh,
it.
go ahead. No.
No. I want to hear
Oh, no,
what
I-
Alex has to say.
I mean, like, he doesn't have any cooking ability, right? Like, this is just his personal, like, weird kink, right?
Yeah, he's like that
Or
David
is-
Letterman segment from the 90s, like, know your cut to meat.
Yeah.
He knows all about meat. He knows
He has
how to
no
cook it
cooking
at all.
abilities. He just,
Yeah.
especially after the wait for the dragon, when he like just roasted the barg meat over the fire, he was just like, yeah, I can do this. This isn't hard. And he has like 46 gold in his pocket, so it's gonna spend.
Yeah,
Oh, boy.
of course.
So yes, if I would say deduct 1 gold, or do I need to haggle?
No, he's clearly a no nonsense kind of guy, and so it's 1 gold. He
hold out
actually
5.
points you to a
Because I don't
sign
know
that says
how-
no haggling.
I don't know. Because I still have really a concept of money, so I'm just like kind of like,
He looks confused and asks if you want 5 of the cooking sets.
No, just one.
He hands it to you and takes 1 gold out of your hand and pushes the rest back to you.
So he just kind of quirks like, just happy that he got his cooking utensils.
Yeah. Colm here is an honest man. What does Kari want?
Kari is going to buy, let's see, 5 flasks of oil, which is 1 silver piece each.
That's a lot of oil.
She's got, well, so this most recent adventure took her last flask of oil out of contention, and she's got a lantern that will be useful for her. Again, things we should have thought of when we were at our very, very wealthy employer's house.
Yeah, as you're buying this, you think of all of these like flasks of oil you saw in one of the like storage rooms as you were walking by.
Live and learn, man. We're gonna get paid handsomely, I assume, for this.
We really should negotiate that up front.
We never arranged compensation in advance, which is something that probably is in like negotiations 101. I think that's all she needs for now.
Great. Pay 5 silver. Does Dayfair want anything?
No, Dayfair is just lost in his past.
Great.
Great.
As you're wrapping up, Colm asks, he's like, which road did you come in? The north or the south road? We just had a group of Vistani come through town, which is an odd sight. We were just wondering if you passed them on the way.
No way.
Oh my
Kari
God.
flashes.
Oh, sorry, I missed it. What?
Badge.
We had some Vistani come through town and wondering if you passed them on the road.
Blake has no idea what that means.
Yeah. I have it as Kari, and she flashes the badge.
It's just like,
we came through different mode of communication, or different mode of transport.
Oh, well, welcome. We haven't had anybody use that old house for years, so glad to see it's getting some use.
What do you know about
And then
Flagguard? I never wrote
Flagguard?
down the name of the dungeon. I did not write it down because I didn't know how to spell it.
Kundrakar.
What do you know about
Yeah,
Kundrakar?
it's 30 miles north of here, you know, close to the part of the Stone Tooth, singular little mountain. There's a lake nearby. 3 days on foot, got to take the trail through the rugged terrain and dense forest, you know. Pretty standard things that everybody else knows around here. Don't fuck with it, orcs, issues, most of the treasure's gone. Maybe something deep down.
Well, that's very helpful. Thank you, sir.
If you're looking to go, just follow the path north out of town.
Good to know.
And then he kicks you out and closes the door.
I feel like we've role-played our way through this town, and we've got everything we needed, and met all the people.
We sure did.
I mean, unless you want
Exhausted.
to stop by and talk to the town watch or the small temple, or the mayor.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I know Adam has interest in all those things. Kari has interest in none of them.
Also, we could just say, or I think we're at time.
Oh yeah, no, I was going to stop it no matter what, but it's more
I've
of,
still got a little bit of whiskey left.
are you finally heading out of town?
Flick gives one final shot of like, which way to Thundercar? Like just like
Wait.
announcing to the entire town with the like where we're heading.
There's some little small human child, like 4-year-old boy that was running by chasing a ball, and he stops and points north, and then keeps running by.
Thank you, good sir.
That's
And
amazing.
with that, you head out north of town, and we will call it a day.
Awesome.
Yay.
Very good.
I seriously was giving y'all like a 10% chance of killing that dragon.
Really?
I think
Wow.
Well,
I mean,
as we learned from the wall of bats, that John Scaling needs some.
Well, so according to like the official math of D&D, it was supposed to be like a medium difficulty fight with 5 of you.
Yeah.
With 4 of you, it was supposed to be deadly. And so Errol was taken out pretty immediately.
Yeah. No, it didn't
whether
bode well
by
after
design
that.
or by complete accident.
Fun fact about dragons mechanically and how they work in D&D, their breath is a recharge thing. So there's a 30% chance every turn that it will recharge. So it actually only got to use it the one time and then was flying away to try to roast you again. But you chopped off its head.
Yeah.
Nice.
One game question, John, that if you don't know an answer right now, it's fine. Also, if you just want to like email it later. But when it comes to leveling up, are we doing the different like you can multi-class, you can do feats instead of ability scores?
Sorry, I'm spelling out some of the things that I realized in chat that I didn't spell out to everybody because I thought I was talking to everybody.
Oh, I thought it was a fun, not a coon. Coontercar.
No, it's there's an H in there. Okay. I mean, yeah, sorry. Yeah, whatever you want.
Car.
You really have to give it in the throat.
Yeah, practice your dwarvish. Anything Wizards of the Coast rules goes from any book, anything. So if you want a multi-class, go for it. If you want to use a feat instead of a ability score increase, go for it. I am happy for you to do whatever you want.
Yeah. I'm going to get weird with it.
I mean,
Oh, wow.
Adam knows from another game that he is running here or he just started running in Denver in person. I am an annoying person to have at the table.
Yeah, John gets weird.
Like,
Multi-class,
in what way?
multi-class wizard. He's a multi-class wizard and cleric who somehow has an armor class of like 21 when he wants to like flip on all of his shit. Like he's indestructible. It's very obnoxious.
I mean, well, hang on. The best part is Adam made the foolish mistake of saying, okay, everybody, we're starting at level 3. So everybody can pick one uncommon magic item they want. And I was like, fuck yeah, gauntlets of ogre power, strength of 19 always. I'm a muscle wizard.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can design around it. It still doesn't get you out of that cage for the first like half of that.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, because I just know going back to when I started Flick, like I was just finding out like the feats and stuff that you could take, or like for example, there's a gnome racial trait where I could just like disappear and go invisible, and you know, so I think I'm gonna lean heavily into the just like Flick pops into existence and it's like, hey.
Because I made all of you use these sheets for your characters. It actually is going to make your life so much easier.
Yeah, well,
because
it's super easy in these things.
The only thing that's a pain is if you're a spellcaster, you're going to have to regenerate your spell sheet. And it should be easy because I think it should store all the spells you currently have and then actually only give you the right options for your next one. Yeah. However, that same last step of now wait forever as the sheet actually does it still happens. So it's still a like walk away for 5 minutes and then come back.
Right.
Oh.
Right.
But otherwise, like all of your nuanced, funky shit, it'll handle for you. So
Nice. And then-
I think the biggest thing is
Cool.
anybody who gets new spells.
For the session recaps, I think Florian's the only one who hasn't written one, so it should probably be one of us three.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna go to Florian next, but since he didn't finish it out, it's one of you three. Any
Kari, would you mind
Any
doing it since you were
volunteers?
taking the most notes? I have like names and
Um,
stuff.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm on it.
Just with the
well,
info
so-
dump of like the rules and things like that.
Yes, indeed. I'll send you a
Then again, Flick was just like orange juice.
yeah, and also like jot down what you remember, and then I will help kind of make sure
Totally.
you have it all right, because that'll be a great
Yeah.
way to share that with the rest of the group.
100%.
Yeah.
Is our next session the 27th?
Next session is the 27th.
Okay. I was gonna say, if it has to happen this week, then like I'm out of town, so it will be difficult. But if we've got 3 weeks to get it done, then that's totally fine.
Oh yeah, no, you go 3 weeks.
Cool.
Cool. Sweet. Well, this is fun. You slayed a dragon. You slayed a red dragon wormling. The
Yeah.
baby
Yeah. It was
Like
We didn't
slayed-
die.
pretty low key.
Diminish our
That's
accomplishment.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks.
I also very much enjoyed the role playing out of the actual, like, here's what you're signing up for, because no one really knew what they were signing up for. They were just like, yeah, sure.
I think
Right.
we heard those 3 rules, but I don't think that we had fully maybe digested what they meant.
Yeah, I'm just waiting
Sure.
for Flick becomes the one within the organization who solely hunts down violators of the rules and just kills them because he can.
Yeah, we can switch to well when we decide that we just want, that's all we want to do is just buy the contract from motherfuckers who left.
Yes.
Thanks.
Flick
All right.
learns that
Cool.
the most dangerous game is man.
And the most delicious.
And the most delicious.
Thanks, Lord.
Oh my
Good
gosh.
session, John. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great.
Awesome. All right. Talk to you later.
Bye.
guys.
All right. See you later.
Bye.